This morning, thousands of Akwa Ibom people take to streets as Udom Emmanuel wins Saturday's polls. Cross-section of Akwa Ibom people call on incoming administration to continue to implement Akpabio's administration legacy. Married couples told to be committed to their marital vows. These and more coming shortly. Very good morning to you today and welcome to AKBC 45 News. My name is Mathlin Mbong. Thousands of Akwa Ibom people Monday took to the streets of Uyo to celebrate the victory of Mr. Udom Gabriel Emmanuel and by extension the People's Democratic Party during last Saturday's gubernatorial polls in the state. From the Uyo Township Stadium, the people walked through Akar Road to Wellington Bassey Dominated to roundabout, where some musicians had set up a stand to supply the needed tunes for dancing. Budai Kong has more.
Those songs were just a few of what the jubilating crowd rendered as they were joined by Governor Akpabio, his wife Unoma, the governor-elect Mr. Udom Emmanuel, the chairman of the PDP in Akwa Ibom State Obong Paul Ekpo, and members of the State Executive Council. Addressing the crowd, the state governor, Chief Godswill Akpabio, said the massive jubilation by the people has countered the protest by few youths a few days back.
Your action, your presence, your jubilation, your happiness, speak volume.
He said while change was sought by Nigerians, Akwa Ibom had already experienced change since 2007 when his administration offered free and compulsory education to all residents of the state and free medical treatment. Governor Akpabio, who assured Akwa Ibom people that the incoming government would build on the foundation of industrialization and urbanization provided by his administration, also announced that the specialist hospital at Itam will begin to function by the end of the month.
Your project, let them one by one. Your project, let them one by one. Your project, let them one by one. Imagine when we start at the end of this month, kidney transplant, heart transplant in your tertiary institution. That is a specialist hospital at Itam. By taking care of this one, we will kickstart that place for the one. And we will continue to do wonders in governance because of your prayers and because of your support. What you need are going to say, the country, we want consolidation.
The governor-elect, Mr. Udom Emmanuel, thanked Akwa Ibom people for standing by the divine mandate, observing that the consistent voting pattern of over 900,000 votes for the PDP was an indication that Akwa Ibom State is a PDP state. He described God's agenda as supreme, pledging to surpass and sustain the superior performance of Governor Akpabio in securing the future of Akwa Ibom youths.
But in Akwa Ibom, PDP is like a religion. PDP is a family. This is a divine mandate that will consolidate on the gates of Akwa Ibom through common transformation. This is a divine mandate that will ensure continuity of relevance of an Akwa Ibom person anywhere in the world. And our vision is that we will never rely only on the center. We will only collaborate and work together rather than over-reliance.
The state chairman of the PDP, Obong Paul Ekpo, extended an invitation to aggrieved members of the party to return to the fold, as the umbrella is large enough to accommodate all. In an interview, the governor and governor-elect said Akwa Ibom people made their choice public at the polls.
I'm not surprised. I can only say, may God bless all Akwa Ibom people. May God guide the incoming governor, Udom Gabriel Emmanuel, to sustain the good governance in the state and to carry the state a bit further than where I'm going to. This is unprecedented. It's amazing seeing this number of people coming out just to prove to the whole world that what they are seeing in Akwa Ibom is not a fluke, that this is actually the will of the people.
Udwa Keko reporting.
Amazing pictures there showing excitement from the Akwa Ibom people. A declaration of Mr. Udom Gabriel Emmanuel as governor-elect for Akwa Ibom State has continued to elicit positive reactions. Some residents of Uyo who spoke with AKBC 45 News described the emergence of Mr. Udom Emmanuel as a collective demonstration of the people's acceptability and choice. Etino Ibarra reports.
Many people in groups discussing the outcome of the governorship election. A visit to streets of Uyo, including newsstands at the Ibom Plaza, revealed that people took time to analyze the just concluded elections in Nigeria. According to respondents, now that elections are over, those who lost, they said, should embrace the spirit of sportsmanship by congratulating the winner and team up in the interest of the state.
All those who contested the election with Udom Gabriel Emmanuel see themselves in the same position. His Excellency Goodluck Ebele Jonathan put himself by congratulating Buhari. I want them to call Udom Emmanuel and congratulate Udom Emmanuel and see how we can collectively push Akwa Ibom State to the next level.
Know according to the scripture that it is God Almighty who gives anybody any position he or she fights for.
The people said the incoming administration should sustain the peace and unity as well as the pace of development, noting that Governor Akpabio's administration has carried all segments of Akwa Ibom along in its development strides. They also spoke on areas they expect the incoming administration to focus on.
So I want the government to sustain that and make unity among us.
He's a student technocrat. And he's a financial expert. He knows, he has all the wherewithal, all the connections, all what it takes to industrialize Akwa Ibom State.
Bring forth industrialization for us.
Etienne Ibanga reporting.
A cross-section of the people of the state have continued to set the agenda for the incoming administration of Mr. Udom Gabriel Emmanuel. Speaking with our correspondent Livingstone Daniel, some people advised the governor-elect to consolidate on the legacies of the Akpabio administration by continuing with the implementation of the state's free and compulsory education program, a program they noted has helped in eradicating the houseboy and girls syndrome.
In my own opinion, I think there are many things to be done. The education, the free and compulsory education, it has to continue with that. And to me, maybe they can reduce the number of students in a class, so that the teachers will have problems of screaming and shouting. I think that's one of the things I would want the incoming administration to tackle.
Continue. I continue. Ya ufong wele mek na enam ya secondary school okeme wubog ya enam university again en okem ni to wele.
We want him to continue. The Bakadipsi port issues is there. Great wealth, job creation, and other related issues, human capacity, ensure that we have the reason, in fact the electorate have the reason to appreciate God for bringing Udom into power.
Others appealed to him to establish industries as well as reactivate moribund ones in order to create employment for the state's teeming population.
This new government industrialization or the industry, so that the youth of the present day in the way the poverty, the way the corruption, because industry there will be any breakdown of industry in the past. Come to the existence.
What for his agenda? During the election campaign, his agenda have been raised. Industrial, employment, and so on. So all of us, we are all stick on that.
the roads
with the new administration coming to the state, emphasis should be given to those areas that were left out of development since government is a continuum.
The people of Uyo Senatorial District have described the victory of Mr. Dom Emmanuel at the governorship polls conducted on April 11 as a defining moment in a democratic process and a clear testimony of the acceptance of his message of hope, freedom, and opportunities. In a message of felicitation sent to the governor-elect, the Uyo Senatorial District Leaders Forum USDLF on behalf of the people said the feat will consolidate the common transformation of the present administration, thereby ensuring the needed industrialization of the state. The people in the message jointly signed by the leader Prince Peter Ikbe Tapo and Secretary General Obong Esenesema expressed confidence that under the leadership of Mr. Dom Emmanuel, Akwa Ibom will be a great force to be reckoned with in the Committee of States in Nigeria. The said should be assured of their support and best wishes as he assumes the duty as the chief executive of Akwa Ibom State. They prayed God to endow him and those who will work and serve with him wisdom and strength to diligently discharge the duties. The message also congratulated Governor Godswill Akpabio on his victory at the polls as senator to represent Akwa Ibom Senatorial District. They commended him as the architect of uncommon transformation for keeping faith and ensuring that Eket Senatorial District takes its turn to produce the next governor of the state in the interest of equity, justice, fair play, and for the peaceful coexistence of all the component units of Akwa Ibom State. Married couples have been charged to be committed to the marital vows in order to enjoy their union. Governor Godswill Akpabio gave a charge at the wedding reception in honor of Barrister Okwong Deapan and former Miss Idonza Diswa, daughter of the State Chief Judge, Justice Idonza Ntemiswa. The story is here presented in our studios.
According to Governor Akpabio, if married couples stay faithful to their vows, there will be no room for divorce. The governor pointed out that since God in his wisdom has assigned specific rules to each partner, there was the need for them to perform their God-given responsibilities with dedication. He urged the couple to shun third-party interference in their marriage, adding that God, the originator of marital relationship, has the solution to any challenge that may arise.
My prayer for them, as the governor of the state today, is that it shall be permanent. That God will uncommonly transform their lives. And that this union, which I believe strongly is the union that has broken tribal lines, will bring uncommon blessings upon all of us.
The reception chaired by Mr. Paul Usoro SAN featured cutting of the cake, feeding of the bride and groom, toast to the couple, as well as bridal dance. Earlier at the marriage solemnization held at Christ the King Cathedral, Wellington, Bassey Way, Uyo, and attended by the wife of the governor, Mrs. Ekaite Unoma Akpabio, Reverend Father Michael Etam charged the couple to use the Bible as their manual for marriage. According to him, application of biblical principles guarantees success.
And of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Take this ring and wear it as a sign of my love and fidelity, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Both ceremonies attended by the cream of the society was preceded by a traditional marriage held at F-Line Park, Enionge Housing Estate, and chaired by Justice of the Supreme Court, Justice John Inyang Okoro. The event had the trappings of a typical Ibibio traditional marriage.
Returned freshmen admitted into the School of Continuing Education after university have been told to focus more attention on academics for a secured future. As you're watching AKBC 45 News, we take a short break and we'll be right back.
Best of entertainment, incisive news, captivating and illuminating programs. The latest in-depth analysis of events, sports, and much more. Keep watching AKBC Channel 45.
Freshmen admitted into the School of Continuing Education after university have been told to focus more attention on academics for a secure future. The Vice Chancellor of the University of Uyo, Professor Comfort Ebo, gave the advice after one-day orientation for them. Idabongse reports that the event took place at the Onyema Ogochukwu Hall town campus of the institution.
The students who are admitted into certificate programs, diploma, part-time undergraduate, part-time postgraduate, and sandwich programs gathered at the Onyema Ogochukwu Hall town campus of the University of Uyo for the exercise. Addressing the students, the Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Comfort Ebo, advised the students to take their studies seriously. Represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Academics, Professor Enom Fonokman, Professor Ebo charged them to be of good behavior, noting that the authorities will not condone indiscipline and examination malpractice.
The Vice Chancellor asked me to welcome you very warmly to this university and to advise that the only thing that brought you to this institution is for you to study. At the end of your period, you get a certificate. But before that certificate is given to you, you must be found worthy in character and in learning.
Also speaking, the Director, School of Continuing Education, Professor Ederudo, educated the students on the need to read the student's handbook and to refrain from joining any cult group.
You must register each semester to maintain your studentship in the university. And it highlights you, if you read the student handbook, you do not understand it, you come to the School of Continuing Education.
The Director of General Studies, Dr. Enobong Joshua, the Director of Health Services, Dr. Ini Enang, Dean of Students, Dr. Idongeset Solomon, and the Chief Security Officer, retired Lieutenant Colonel Nkama, also addressed the students. Idoro Bongse reporting.
Has cost several thousands of children from the homes in the north. UNICEF has international increase its support to alleviate the sufferings of displaced children. This and more in a national foreign news scene segment with Mercy Akara.
To mark the first anniversary of the abduction of more than 200 schoolgirls from Chibok town in northeastern Nigeria, the United Nations Children Education Fund, UNICEF, reports that several thousands of children have been forced to flee their homes in northeastern Nigeria due to fighting between Boko Haram, military forces, and civil defense groups. UNICEF has warned that the increasing number of displaced persons is putting additional strain on the health, education, and social services systems in host communities and called on international donors to increase their support. UNICEF has also urged the international community to increase its support to aid agencies working to alleviate the suffering of displaced persons, as lack of funding is constraining the body from reaching the affected children. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says it will not cancel the results of any of the elections that was held either on March 28th or April 11th, since it does not have the power to do so. According to the Chief Press Secretary of INEC, Mr. Kayode Idowu, it is the election petition tribunals that can order for the cancellation of any election. Sierra Leone's 1.8 million children returned to school 8 months after schools were shut down to halt the spread of the deadly Ebola virus. According to the World Health Organization, 3,800 deaths were recorded in Sierra Leone alone. The reopening had been set for 30th March as the rate of the new infection slowed, but the reopening date was forwarded to 14th April. UNICEF says it is working with the government to ensure children were safe by training teachers on Ebola prevention, including hand washing and regular temperature checks. In Mogadishu, capital of Somalia, at least 7 people have been attacked in the Higher Education Ministry, a government complex in a busy area of the city. According to some eyewitnesses in the locale, a car loaded with explosives rammed into the wall surrounding the compound, setting off 2 explosives before storming inside. There were exchanges of gunfire. Somalia police say some of the gunmen were killed while some escaped by climbing over the walls. Al-Shabaab has claimed responsibility for the attack. Iraqi Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi has made his first trip to the United States, where he met with President Barack Obama and has held talks concerning the fight against Islamic State. Iraq says it needs the help of the West, especially the United States, to fight ISIS. Minister al-Abadi requested for U.S. arms, drones, and other U.S. weapons to combat Islamic State, which weighed much of northern and central Iraq last year. A Los Angeles-bound Alaska airline was forced to make an emergency landing 14 minutes after takeoff as pilots heard banging and screaming from below deck. A flight worker who was found inside the pressurized temperature-controlled area after the plane landed claims he had fallen asleep and was trapped in the cargo hold. U.S. Federal Aviation Administration is investigating the incident.
Amazing stories coming from the Foreign News Scene. That's it from the Foreign News Scene. Don't forget, you can also watch AKBC TV News online by logging on to akbconline.org or follow us on Twitter at AKBC45 or and Facebook at AKBC Channel 45. That has been our package on the news, but before we go, recap of the major highlights. Watch your story. The thousands of Akwa Ibom people Monday took to the streets of Uyo to celebrate the announcement of Mr. Dom Emmanuel as winner of Saturday's gubernatorial polls. A jubilating crowd went around major streets before converging on the Dominic Utuku roundabout. Also, married couples have been reminded to be committed to the marital vows. Governor Godswill Akpabio gave a charge at the wedding of the daughter of the state's chief judge in Uyo. That's the news, and thank you for staying with us. My name is Meflin Mbon.